afternoon, everybody. It's Monday, March 13th, 2 p.m. Eastern. Hope you're having a good day out there. I'm currently playing a natural gas 5-minute back burner oversold bounce, so I got my stop loss set at break even, so I'm not too distracted. But I'm going to be looking to take some profit on that. Let's see. Let's pick a target. I mean, in an ideal world, that's our hourly high or low. I'll just let it play out. Risk-free, no big deal. All right. Lot going on. A lot to talk about. Fundamentals more so than usual. I spent all weekend listening to Twitter Spaces and learning the fundamentals about the banking situation and what was going on. And honestly, that helped me a lot today in terms of knowing to look bearish the regional banks, look long the biotech sector, look long crypto and metals. And it definitely helped me focus in on knowing where to look long and short, because essentially what we have going on right now, I mean, I'm not going to go into too significant of a summary about the situation, but the situation is fixed in the sense that right now depositors don't have anything to worry about, but shareholders in these banks that went under got crushed. And so the shareholders in all these other regional banks are fleeing because of that extra heightened risk. So shareholders were not protected, only the depositors were. So certainly still a lot of weak stocks out there on the regional bank side of things. So essentially what's going on today is money is moving. We're watching closely to see where is money moving to. We know money is moving from regional banks. It makes no sense for people to keep their money in these regional banks. It makes no sense to keep money without FDIC insurance, even though, the Fed says, we've got your back now. This is enough to scare people to move money around. So money's flowing to some of the major banks like JP Morgan and Bank of America and things like that. Money is flowing to the metals. We can see the metals, gold is having a big 3-day move here, big volume showing up. Obviously Bitcoin and crypto, which we'll get to in just a moment. Bitcoin seeing a big bull move up. So there's money flowing around. And whenever there's a fundamental event, I just imagine it like a snow globe being shaken. And then we watch for all the little flakes settle. And that's where the capital is flowing. And we have CPI numbers tomorrow morning, and CPI numbers are going to be significant because they're going to give us insight into what to expect for the FOMC next week. Is the Fed going to raise rates a quarter of a basis point? Are they going to halt raising? Are they going to start shifting their narrative because of the pressure put on banks? But inflation's still high. Well, CPI is going to tell us what inflation is at, but there's a lot of questions right now fundamentally with all this going on. So, SPY, gap down open today. Bulls are working on a bounce here. So fear is temporarily subsiding. You can see SPY has an hourly uptrend attempt. Higher low is set. Have to break the high of the day for the hourly uptrend to confirm. Then we zoom out and watch for a daily lower high with a lot of space for it to form. And essentially the big picture, I put out over the weekend a long-term outlook video. If you have not seen that, check out on our YouTube channel. I talk about Bitcoin. I talk about the broader market. But essentially, are these our monthly high or lows being set? And for the S&P 500, we don't have any confidence in saying that. But for Bitcoin, I can say that this needs to be the monthly high or low being set. Because if we were to drop from here and break 19.5, that's a big red flag. That to me tells us we're likely going to break 15. So this needs to be that high or low, and that level needs to hold from here. It's a very important level from now on. Crypto stocks are up big. MARA is up 23%. Riot is up 18%. Coin is up 12%. So crypto clearly one of the places where money is flowing today after the end of last week fear and this weekend fear. Appreciate the likes and the shares and all you loyal followers for checking in. So, MARA and coin trying for hourly bull flags right now, testing the high of the day. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has a huge move up. And when I was buying under 20,000, I was not looking for a monthly high or low to be set. I was looking for a 4-hour oversold bounce. So in the last live stream on Friday, I was talking about that position, and I have scaled out, and I definitely exited the remainder of that position too soon. But that's what long-term no-touch positions are for. They're my anti-FOMO. And I've been trading the crypto stocks a lot today. I will be looking to re-enter into long positions, but we're now in back burner territory. We know that we're going to be watching for first 5-minute oversold conditions on Bitcoin to look for an hourly higher low. next time we see that. Right now it's a 30-minute tightening range. If we confirm a 30-minute downtrend, we'll be looking for 5-minute oversold conditions to scout an hourly higher low. That's the next time I'm going to be interested in looking for a long. I'll also be watching for 15-minute oversold, looking for a 4-hour higher low. Trader Pro alert system, 15-minute back burner on Bitcoin fired this morning. First 15-minute oversold conditions after a significant bull weekend. And that marked the higher low, holding EMA 12 support into the significant continuation. So back burners are back on the menu for the bulls. And so that's where I look for my entries. And I'm not chasing up here because we're testing key 25.2, 25.3 thousand resistance in very overextended scenario with CPI numbers tomorrow certainly going to be having an impact. But the narrative is, this is the first time that I've seen, Bitcoin's narrative actually catch fire a good bit as far as a lot of people talking about it. Just in the sense of money getting halted, freedom to move around, control your own funds, all that. We've heard it 100 times. That's why a lot of us are in this space or have interest in this space. But that is what's going on right now. And again, the volume is significant. There were a lot of shorts on that drop, so this is definitely a short squeeze, but it's also bulls jumping in on that narrative. And so if we break 25.3 from here, 25.3 thousand, I will consider that, it's a pretty minimal pivot on the monthly, but I will consider that a monthly uptrend. And again, I'll then be zooming out to the 4-month to scout a 4-month lower high and watching the retracement size from there. But if the bulls are able to get over 25.2, there's not a ton of resistance nearby. After 25.2, 25.3, we're looking up at, I'm looking up at 28 as the next previous support, now potentially resistance zone. So space for the bulls to work with. Obviously, we're extended. So, get a question, am I looking to buy the bull break of 25.2? I certainly wouldn't be doing so if it happened from here. The 4-hour RSI at that point would be in the 80s. It's just not good risk reward. But again, enough has happened right now that we are buying oversold bounces to look for higher lows on longer term time frames. And it's going to be all about we'll call it 25.3 just because it was in the 2s. So we got to break 25.3 for bulls to reaffirm their full control on this move up. So it's a great start to the week. Again, the biggest positive here is the narrative, because when you get this kind of price action, you get CNBC talking about it, and you get the articles and the buzz and the social media, and you get a lot of attention. And so that's what obviously bulls want to see. So again, in the short term here, it's just a question of, do we confirm this 30-minute downtrend? Turning off my space heater. Do we confirm this 30-minute downtrend to head to 5-minute oversold conditions? And I will look to add back some position, and I'll just do my normal style of making some entries in 5-minute oversold, taking some position off into a bounce, putting my stop under the low at that point in time, and that will be my style of trading from here. Still mainly focusing on stocks due to no fees and the crypto stocks, but have some funds out there in crypto that definitely putting to use. And it was the kind of thing where you could see, the rumors over the weekend started about the bailout, whether you want to call it a bailout or not, whatever, but the Fed stepping in to save the depositors of these banks. And the only thing open and trading at that point in time is crypto. And so you could see crypto bulls getting a move up Sunday into this move because it was the only way to react. It was the only way for traders to react to the rumors and the increasing probabilities that the Fed and the FDIC was going to backstop these banks. And so that's, one of the benefits when crypto is trading over the weekend. You had to buy crypto if you wanted to benefit from that news before other people. And that is when I exited the last of my bounce position around 21.5 as I was leaving the house on the Sunday. And again, definitely exiting early, but exceeded the goal of the trade that I took. So that was one positive. All right, we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin to see if we head towards 5-minute oversold conditions. The dominance chart. This is clearly Bitcoin leading the way up. You do not often see Bitcoin up 8% and exceeding all these alts. Again, it's the narrative. The narrative is money flowing into gold, silver, and crypto for all the reasons I just talked about. ETH had a great move off the lows, V-shaped bounce. Look at the monthly for Ethereum. It's a monthly equilibrium. Low, high, higher, low, a quick little lower high and higher low. And if we break 1753, it's the first sign of the bull break. Then we have to break 2031 behind it. But it's a really nice tight range that is trying to get a bull break. Same thing, we'll be watching for 5-minute oversold conditions, looking for an hourly higher low. Next consolidation, ETH BTC, gotta be cautious of this 2-week lower high. If this narrative has legs of Bitcoin being a safe haven in the face of all of this, ETH BTC is gonna break this 2-week equilibrium bearish, and Bitcoin is gonna be the place to be. So we know we've been watching this pattern for a very long time. Our 2-week lower high is technically already set, and now it's just about 6, 7, 8 this low, because if ETH BTC drops down and breaks that level, it'll clearly be Bitcoin as the spot to be for the bulls. Narrative's important. Whether or not the narrative is the reason for moves, again, you just have to imagine how many people are following fundamental narratives on social media and on, whatever media platform, and it's the vast majority. So I want to know the narrative that they're being fed to have that as part of my technical analysis assessment. Let's go into a bear example of a trade. So I cannot short crypto, being in the US and having no exchanges. Again, you hear me talk about FDIC insurance all the time, and you're now hearing about FDIC insurance a lot with these banks. And I'm astounded at how few people have their money protected by FDIC insurance. In this bank that went under, it was 97% of deposits were not FDIC insured. The only reason I know about FDIC insurance is because I know crypto is high risk, high reward, and I want my funds protected, and I've just applied that to all markets. But it's wild that these people that are playing around with millions of dollars are not protecting their funds. It's not extremely easy to do so. Well, it is fairly easy. You spread it out. There's different instruments that allow you to protect it. So, that's an eye-opener, and it's why I'm on Coinbase still. Coinbase is FDIC insured. And the first thing that happened when all of this hit the fan was anyone that's FDIC insured is fine. They're going to get their money on Monday. And then eventually we got the information after a bunch of stress and sweating that everybody would get backed. But FDIC insurance is your automatic. And if your FDIC insurance isn't following through, if there's too much or if they can't pay out, then you have a lot more to worry about than money. As I said in a post, that's when you worry about food, water, and ammo. So, short example, Ape. Ape had a huge move yesterday. Big move up as a part of this little short squeeze. So, Ape is a lead bull today, but aggressive day trading bears are watching the 15-minute stair step. Again, cannot stress enough using the 15-minute stair step, whatever time frame stair step. Google TheChartGuys stair step. If you don't know what it is, it's a great strategy to help put yourself in high risk, low reward scenarios. Watching the 15-minute stair step for a potential play. So let's walk through it. Where did the 15-minute stair step trigger? Right here. When 459 broke, you short and you put your stop over the high. And you're risking here 11 cents. And we pulled back 20 cents. So essentially, twice the reward of the potential risk. So then as I went through the hypothetical trade, I'd be out half at EMA 12 support on the 15-minute here, stop over the high risk-free. So hypothetical exit of half at 15-minute EMA 12. And then this morning, unable to short, it's just hypothetical, but I would be out the second half of Ape on the 15-minute stair step short at 4-hour EMA 12 support here. And that was right around here. So just a nice stair step signal. Yes, it's a lead bull, but we know it's extreme. We get the first indication of weakness. We get the pullback. We take partial profit. We're risk-free. And then we wait to take the rest of the profit from there. And in the end, Ape has a 4-hour tightening range. Probably best on the 2-hour. High, low, lower high. So we're just tightening up sideways on Ape. Keep an eye on this natural gas trade. Another back burner. Again, guys, the back burners. When you're in a trending market, it's such a high probability trade. It doesn't work every time. But my lord, the amount of money I've made on back burner bounces is just dumb. And this was a stair step as well. 5-minute drop, you wait till the lower high every candle breaks. Then you got your stop level. You can combine multiple things, back burner and stair step. And we'll see if that's, and it aligned with hourly EMA 12. It's just the perfect thing. You always want that longer term EMA 12 acting as support. All right. There are instruments that allow for large companies to have many millions of dollars covered. You know, if I've got $2 million in my Fidelity account, I can put it in a specified account and they spread it out among a bunch of banks for me. I don't have to do a thing. If it's in that account, it's spread out over a bunch of banks. And there's even other more in-depth instruments that I don't know about that allow for spreading out of large funds. The basketball player, Giannis, whatever, the Greek Freak, he has his money in 50 bank accounts, $250,000 apiece. All right. So, what are you all looking at? Bears, you know, what about bears from here? As I mentioned, there's setups for day trading bears like that ape play. But this is a big enough move that I am definitely favoring bulls from here. And I would need to see, you know, Bitcoin would have to retrace and lose 23,000 without breaking 25.3 for me to get some red flags at this point. If we retrace and drop under 23, that's, we're giving too much of this move back. But this is definitely enough to get the bulls' attention. We're positioned extremely well. We know Bitcoin divided by the NASDAQ is up at the highs, I assume. So relative strength. And we're positioned extremely well if the broader market can see any kind of upside. Even just a bounce to set a daily lower high in SPY and QQQ, and Bitcoin's going to be testing 25 too. So definitely on Team Bull until bears give me a reason not to be on Team Bull. There's definitely sector rotation going on today. The biggest tech names right now are all green. Apple's up 2.5%, Microsoft's up 2.5%, Amazon's up big. So again, money is fleeing the financial sector, which is still down 2.7%. The regional banks ETF is down 9%. Money is fleeing the financial sector, and today it's going to big tech, the biggest techist names. It's going to metals, it's going to crypto. What is a back burner? I'm not going to explain it because I've done so many times. If you Google ChartGuys back burner, there's an in-depth video describing it all. I've got crypto funds in a hardware wallet. Don't worry about me. It's where my no-touch, long-term no-touch positions live. Too simple, Juan. That's not, you have to have a breakout preceding looking for back burners, a 1 hour breakout. You need a big convincing bull move. You need to have the psychological setup. The psychological setup is bulls are on the sidelines wanting positions. Any bears that have positions that pull back, they're going to be looking to take profit very quickly. They're going to be looking to take profit and not get run over in a short squeeze. Got an internet blip here. Bear with me, internet is glitching a bit. All right. Matic. So Matic has a big old bounce underway. All names are going to have to confirm daily trend changes eventually. So let's not forget that. You know, Matic's going to have to top out, pull backs at a daily higher low and a higher high. So that's your anti-FOMO on names like this. We have to eventually confirm a daily uptrend. We know there's going to be daily consolidation eventually. Have to see that take shape. So right now, Matic, we got a 4-hour uptrend. We've got an hourly uptrend. Trying for a little hourly bull flag. Have to ensure that the next break sees follow through. Because if it doesn't, we'll have a potential rising wedge type of pattern shaping up. More of a channel. But 4-hour uptrend is our guide. When we lose the 4-hour uptrend, we zoom out and we scout a daily high or low to be the result of that next consolidation. So we're unlikely to see daily consolidation until we lose the 4-hour uptrend. And again, that's the relationship of how these time frames interact with each other and how they give us information. I gotta take some of this natural gas position off because it's a big old bounce. Well, what if that's our daily high or low and we confirm a daily uptrend? I'm going to want to keep that position. Decision making time. Do I want to swing it? No. We're going to take some more profit. It's never a bad idea to take some more profit. It's been a good few days. Traded the biotech sector this morning. That was my first long play. LABU, the leveraged ETF. Posted on Twitter that I was going to be keeping an eye on that sector. All right, I'll post you all some links just to make life easy. Back burner video. Again, this has changed my life as a trader. Doesn't work every time. It requires risk management, but there's the back burner video, and you can see if you search back burner chart guys, we got a bunch of examples, and you know, I talk about it a lot. Trader Pro alert system for the back burners and for super stacks. Posting that. SHIB. So SHIB daily bounce, anything under 1169 is a lower high. We're currently testing EMA 12 resistance. We got a 4-hour uptrend as our guide. Again, some of these alts are looking a little rising wedgy. Just got to be cautious if the bull breaks start to lack follow through. If we were to confirm hourly bull flags with no follow through, I'd be scouting daily lower highs from that point. Again, the CPI is going to have a big implication tomorrow. But this move on a name like this means nothing unless we confirm a daily uptrend once we top out. You know, Bitcoin's up testing the recent highs. Many of these altcoins have a lot of proving to do, and the first step is the daily uptrend. Do I think the judge's ruling on the grayscale hearing could help fuel BTC? So I do think so. I mean, my first question into this morning was, okay, we got the narrative down, but there's still no easy paths for average Joe to move their money into crypto. Yes, you got GBTC. Yes, you got some crypto stocks. But once, if and when GBTC is an official ETF, then the movement of capital is going to be so much easier, and it will be significant. Right now, it's traded on the OTC. GBTC, you know, I market buy a normal day trading position, and when I was trying to do it, it was during, you know, high volume recently, but it takes a long time to fill. It's not liquid. it's not an instrument for significant capital to move around. I mean, we're trading $60 million today, very roughly speaking, and MARA, so 60 million there. MARA is at 300 million today. MARA is a little minor. It's not a Bitcoin ETF. So if you have a Bitcoin ETF and if it is uplisted off the OTC, and if it has better liquidity and market makers and all that, I mean, you'll see so much more dollar volume trading it. But again, the fact that one little miner has 5 times the volume of GBTC tells you everything you need to know. Big money is not using GBTC. USDC DPEG looks like it's recovered. That's not my area of expertise. A lot of people had confidence once the backstop was there. Even without the backstop, they're risking losing 10% of their funds or whatever. But once the backstop is put in place, there's no concerns. I mean, Coin had hundreds of millions at the other bank that went under, and it's up 13% today because of the backstop by the Fed. How much of the run was everyone trying to get out of stable coins versus cash purchases? Definitely an aspect of it. We saw the bulls starting to show up before. This move is bank backstop Fed related. But there was a move up over the weekend where it did look like this move right here to me looked like people fleeing stable coins into Bitcoin. And I took a little profit there. I think that's where I took my second, third position profit on that move up over the weekend. But yeah, that was definitely a factor as well. QQQ, I don't think I would play a double top here. I think I would give priority for an hourly trend change. The bulls have controlled the majority of the day, so I would let the bulls have it. If a 2008 financial situation happens again, wouldn't Bitcoin go through the roof? It wasn't around last time. Potentially. Again, the biggest reason for Bitcoin going up right now, in my opinion, is number one, you control it. Nobody else does. There's no run on Bitcoin. I mean, obviously, it's got volatility and it can dump when everybody leaves, but you can always exit your Bitcoin. Number two, it's open on the weekends. People were at banks, standing outside their banks Saturday, banks closed Sunday, nothing going on. So it's just putting to the forefront the narrative for crypto that bulls have been talking about for so long. And we'll see if that continues. We'll see if that's enough to really what needs to happen is the amount of US people that have exposure to Bitcoin, which is something like 13%. I'm just pulling that number out of the air, but something along those lines. I mean, we need to see stuff like this get that up to 16%, up to 20%. XRP. So XRP, what I care about is, well, we got the same, it's now a daily falling wedge at this point to be keeping an eye on, but XRP BTC pulled back more than the bulls want to see here. Way more, yeah, big red flag. So I said yesterday when we were down at EMA 12, this is a red flag, we're pulling back too much. And again, you got the mana comparison. Mana BTC, let's just do a quick little comparison here of what the bulls wanted to see on Ripple versus what they did see and where the red flag was. And the red flag was in the retracement size on the daily here because we had this move. So here's your volume standing out on Mana BTC. There's your back test of EMA 12 and extreme breakout. There's volume on XRP getting our attention. Here's the daily consolidation. We need to back test and form a quick little higher low and breakout. And as soon as we retraced half that move, red flag. And now we've just fallen through to lower lows. So again, it's the Bitcoin show right now. And keep an eye on the dominance chart, because as long as the dominance chart is up at the highs, it's the Bitcoin show. If I'm looking bearish, for whatever reason, I'm looking at an altcoin because it's weaker. And if I'm looking bullish, I'm looking at Bitcoin as long as the dominance chart is doing this. There's definitely some altcoins that will outperform Bitcoin in small periods of time, but a green candle like that on the dominance chart to me means focus on Bitcoin if you're looking bullish. Do they know the CPI? So are they front running bullish CPI? No, they aren't. It's the market assuming that the Fed is not going to be able to keep raising rates because they're breaking things. Things are breaking. And so people are assuming that the Fed is going to have to pause and pivot. If CPI is higher than anticipated tomorrow, that is going to decrease the probabilities that the Fed pauses and pivots. So CPI is definitely big tomorrow, whether it comes in line or higher or lower. If it's lower than anticipated tomorrow, then you're going to have people very confident that the Fed is going to slow their raising of rates and pause. So that's where we stand. I got to go and do a end of the day live stream here for stocks. Appreciate you all tuning in. Back burners. We're watching for oversold short-term conditions to mark longer-term higher lows. That's what bulls are looking for entries at this point. There are still some bear opportunities, but just ensure that you're using a good risk-reward setup with a stop loss nearby. Still plenty of great opportunity in MARA and Riot. I was trading them. I made more money bearish in Riot today than long. And that's just because I was all over these tops and pullbacks. I mean, that's a 5% plus pullback there. And I missed my hourly higher low entry. But plenty of opportunity in both directions for us day traders. All right, thanks again. Appreciate the likes, up to 118. Good job, team. And make sure and check out the broader market videos that I'm putting out. The longer term one from over the weekend, but end of the day video today, I'll talk a lot about what we're watching in the broader market, because again, the snow globe has been shaken and we're now watching where all the flakes settle, and the bulls are really liking, the crypto bulls are really liking how those flakes are currently settling. Thanks again, do good things, see you soon.